My name is Ashley Olmstead, and I'm here to talk to you about a gas station rewards prototype app called GasPass. The opportunity statement here is creating a fast and user-centric gas station rewards app can drive customer exposure, sales, and involvement, which will improve the customer perception and the consumer base. So in pursuing these goals and learning from competitors' past experiences, how might we create an app that supports the user's needs and drive their involvement and loyalty with us while also providing fast controls for users on the go? First, we're going to go through my research and assumptions, and then we're going to go through my design process. Next, I'll show you the prototype demo, and then we'll talk about the next steps and how we would continue with this project. Research and assumptions. So I dug deep into the competitor market and analyzed what was out there, what was missing, and what consumers thought about it. I wanted to see what all these different apps were doing, both from reward gas station apps and gas stations themselves, and all the people's experiences with it, and see what I could do to fill those holes. So based on research gathered and research provided, users were disappointed with the sustainability of gas station apps previously used and the obvious tech issues blocking the usability. However, reward programs for gasoline and app-based ordering and services on the go were growing ever popular. In addition, users have expressed interest in past research studies in knowing the change in gas costs and the closest station to them, not to mention the growing demand of cost-saving devices or rewards for the average person. Also, many competitor apps have some of our desired features, but not all, or not fully incorporated into their flows and storefronts, therefore creating a distinct user-centric functioning app that incorporates all of these user desires as a system rather than three individual standalones can really give an edge to the app, the brand, and the overall retention and customer loyalty and base growth. So first I established user goals. I wanted the app to be understandable. I wanted users to be able to manage the entire gas station experience through the app seamlessly. I wanted it to be useful. Users wanted to save time and money with the app, both as a gas store customer and as a rewards and speedy priority customer. I wanted them to feel valued. I wanted users to feel valued and that the rewards experience was valuable to them. I had some design goals as well. I wanted the app to be discoverable, have all of its features be discoverable and quickly navigable, considering that users are often in a hurry or even driving. I want it to be accessible, promote the features throughout design, making them intuitive and accessible, creating a seamless experience for the average customer. And I wanted to make sure that it felt rewarding, make the rewards feel valuable and easily tradable or redeemable. So how did I do this? This is my design process. First, I went through an ideation, looking for solutions for user goals, analyzing the market, the research and inspirations, coming up with first ideas. Then concept prototype, sketching out initial concepts, mapping out user flows, and creating a wireframe in Figma. Then a usability prototype where I built out the prototype and interactions, creating a testable product in Figma. So how did that all look like? Well, sketch and wireframe, sketching the designing concept and wireframing features. From there, building and prototyping, where I created those wireframes in Figma and built out the prototypes and the interactions. Then user testing and analysis, recruiting participants, testing the prototype I just made, and analyzing the feedback. After that, it's iterate and repeat, iterating based on the feedback by going through the same cycle until a level of polish that we want is produced. So this is what it looked like during my sketches and inspiration phase. I was doing lots of sketches, mapping out flows. I was looking at color palettes. I was looking at inspiration for the brand. I was looking at inspiration for what was out there, like feature-wise, and I was setting up some guidelines too. Then I did some wireframes in Figma, wireframing out different ideas, different features, seeing how they all went, and then creating a prototype from that. And I tested the prototype out with different people. This is one of the testers and one of our experiences with it. And it was really awesome to get all this kinds of feedback that we could really work from a jumping off point. I had different testers. These are 3 of my testers. We had Alan, 35, from Washington. He's a professional mover. And Denise, 32, from Washington, a mother of 2. Molly, 27, from New York, a personal assistant. All of these people were chosen because they're constantly on the go, they do a lot of driving, they're always in a hurry, and they have a really big need to save up and save money too. So they really fit our user type perfectly. So based on the testing feedback and action, I took actions based on the testing feedback. So the first piece of feedback was there's a lot of various functionality users expected when a map is part of the app. And most of that was based on known or learned behaviors from Google Maps. So my action on that was that I incorporated a lot more map functionality, navigation, searching, and store access in the map due to users' expectations and based on Google Maps' current functionalities. Another piece of feedback was that a lot of testers voiced opinions on the ease of navigation for certain features and quick access for some of these. So my action on this was I added a bunch of features to make fast access easier, including a station finder before login, most common order as a quick order, saved locations for both work and home, and an option to add additional locations. Another piece of feedback was that I learned very quickly was the value in presenting scenarios to the users. Otherwise, testers just rapidly clicked through with minimal vocal feedback, and it was unclear if they were actually taking in the app and its capabilities rather than just rapidly exploring and clicking. So after the first 2 users did this, I decided to introduce users into scenarios that they could work towards to achieve them a goal. By doing this, it allowed me to watch users solve problems and work through the existing UI and UX and to achieve something. Since this proved to be valuable, I actually gained 2 more testers, and so that I could have a better example of what was out there in my data. So now we'll go through the prototype demo. Awesome. And if you would like to test it yourself, that link is also provided here. So now, what are the next steps? What would we do? Well, first, I would test in a larger group with more testers and more user types so I can gain even more valuable data. Next, I would really think it's time to get the UIR team in, getting the UIR team involved to create a higher level of polish and a really clear visual language. Thirdly, I would iterate based on the testing results until enough polish and a really awesome flow that users are happy with is ready for MVP. What were my key takeaways during this project? The most important lesson I learned during the prototyping process was the value of rapidly implementing and testing changes. I realized that working through quick iterative cycles between testers allowed me to run through a faster development cycle in some cases. The next was the main challenge I ran into this prototyping process was the short development period of only 6 weeks. If there had been more time, I could have developed the interactions further and really deep dived into more streamlined ways of presenting the accumulation of the myriad of features I introduced into this one app. Thirdly, I felt like this prototype was successful All testers felt this app had value to them and would improve their experiences in their busy lives at gas stations and with saving money and rewards. I think this proves the value of an app such as this prototype. The app was clear to them, and the purpose of it and the benefit of it was clear to the testers as well. Thank you so much for listening to my design experience. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me.